محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة. قال حسين بن علي عليه السلام: نعم يا أخا بني أسد، هما إمامان، إمام هدى دعا إلى هدى، وإمام ضلالة دعا إلى ضلالة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today, I wanted to talk about a man who embodies the true Husseini, or a true follower of Abu Abdullah Hussein, and that is Muslim ibn Aqeel. It aligns with the topic that we have been discussing. We talked about the concept of imama and how to follow the true imam. So in the previous lecture, we talked about Bishr ibn Ghalib. So Bishr ibn Ghalib is a man who came across Abu Abdullah Hussein, and Abu Abdullah asked him how the people are in Kufa. And then he says, خَلَّفْتَ قُلُوبَ مَعَاذ وَالسُّيُوفْ مَعَاذ بَنِي أُمَيَّةَ. So now we want to go back to Kufa. This is the same Kufa Bishr ibn Ghalib he warned Imam al-Hussein about. People say salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
So Imam al-Hussein, he had received many letters from Kufa. Some riwayah saying he received like 150 letters in the first day, and then he received more and more and more letters. And the Kufa people are saying, "We love you, Ya Abu Abdullah." And they said very interesting thing. They said, "Ya Abu Abdullah, we don't have an imam. We don't have an imam. We need an imam." The true answer was, we have an imam. They should have said, "We have you, Ya Abu Abdullah. You are the imam. We already have you." But this is where they made the first mistake. They said, "We don't have an imam." No, you did have an imam. So then they said, "We don't have an imam, we need an imam." And then they say, "The fruits are ripe, come and fight. We're ready to fight with you. Your soldiers are ready." Muslim ibn Aqeel, he then goes towards Kufa. He arrives in Kufa, and he brings the letter of Abu Abdullah. And you know what was really interesting about the letter? Muslim ibn Aqeel enters the place. He raises the letter of Abu Abdullah. As soon as he raises the letter of Abu Abdullah, everybody starts crying. And then he opens the letter, and as soon as he starts opening, he says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim min Hussein ibn Ali. He says, this is from Hussein ibn Ali. As soon as he says that, the whole room erupts. And they're crying, they're wailing, they're saying, Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. That's how much they love. Now see, these guys are lovers. These guys are lovers of Ahlul Bayt. They have the tears, they're crying for him, just like we cry for him. So now he says, بَعَثْتُ إِلَيْكُمْ أَخِي وَابْنَ عَمِّي وَثِقَّتِي مِنْ أَهْلِي. And then he has how many followers? Sheikh Mufid says he has about 17,000 to 18,000 followers. Al-Tabari says 12,000, but he had thousands of followers. And then Yazid hears Muslim ibn Aqeel is in Kufa. Kufa is turned. They say, Umar ibn Sa'ad and other people, they send messages to Yazid, Kufa is turned. Imam Ali, the lovers of Ali, they've taken control of it. So then he sends who? He sends a cunning man, one of the most cunning men. Who is that? Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad is the governor of Basra. He goes from Basra all the way to Kufa. When he goes to Kufa, he was wearing firstly like Basra clothes. He was wearing clothes that are from Basra. He changes his clothes and he says to his people, wear the Hijazi clothes. Wear the Hijazi clothes so that people, they get confused. So then, and he puts a naqab on his face. I think that's what you call it. When you cover the face, it's called the naqab. So he puts that covering on his face, and then he walks into Kufa. People, they think that it's Abu Abdullah Hussein. People, they think it's Hussein. When he walks in, they say, Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. They're crying, they're joyous. The streets are filled with joy. And then he reaches in a certain the center of the city. He takes off his veil, and then they see what? It is Ibn Ziyad. It is Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. And he says, I'm Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. I've been sent by Yazid ibn Muawiyah, and you guys have been doing an uprising against Yazid. And he says, Wallah, your houses will be brought down upon you. You will lose your livelihood. You'll be put into prisons. There will be an extensive punishment. The people are afraid. They stop. And then they move back. They're afraid. They cannot do anything. At that moment, Ibn Ziyad had no army. Ibn Ziyad had nobody with him. There's no army. There's no swords and spears. He just had a couple of people with him. That's it. No army. If they wanted to, grab him, throw him into prison. Khalas, done. Over. Ibn Ziyad, done. But he's clever. He tricked the people. He looked like them. The first lesson we get, brothers and sisters, are enemies. People who infiltrate. Some of times the enemies, they don't look like a different person. They pretend to be among you. They pretend to be with you. Oh, we are with you. Maybe you have a friend who is a Muslim. He's telling you it's okay. You can do something. It's okay to drink. Astaghfirullah. Or it's okay to do something. He's your friend. He's a Muslim. Maybe he's Shia. He's telling you can do this. It's fine. But that's not your friend. That's the person who's misguiding you. That's the first lesson. Your enemies, that they don't always look different than you. They might look like you. That's the first thing. The first lesson. The second lesson is fear. Shaitan uses fear. And then, as we read in the ayat of the Quran, Surah Al-Qabut, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسَ أَن يَتْرُكَ أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يَفْتَنُونَ. Do the people think they say we believe and they're not going to be tested? You can't just say you believe and you're not going to be tested. Allah will always test you. And He tested the people of Kufa. So now, word spreads. And what's interesting, it's just words. There's no army, there's nothing. Just words, you will lose your lives. And then, and you know what it says, only words. They say, and I want to share a quick story here. They say, they say people will judge you. Don't say you're Muslim, or you don't drink, or you don't do that. The people, they judge you. I was in university, this is 2 weeks ago actually, 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was one of our lab techs, he is from the LGBTQ community. And I'm saying this because we are in a Muslim community right now, so we're between brothers, we have the same values. So now, he got married, astaghfirullah. So he got married. My director, he told me, get a card and write him congratulations. So he told one of my friend is also a Muslim, by the way. So he got a card and he wrote congratulations. Then he gave it to other people, the other Muslims, they wrote congratulations on it. And then he came to me. He says, Zaim, you have to write congratulations. So I was like, I'm just not comfortable. He's like, man, our director, he's the director, he holds our certificate, You can't get the certificate unless he says yes. So then he basically said, write that congratulations. I said I won't write it. And I put the card away, and that's it. Okay. The brothers, if you guys can start coming forward, so there's more space for the people. This way. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. MashaAllah, now it feels more direct, alhamdulillah. So basically what happened in the university is I was saying, please another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. They asked me to sign the card that says, congratulations, you got married, astaghfirullah. He was from the LGBTQ community. Now, I didn't want to do it. And then I called an alim, he's in Houston, I said, what do we do? My director's telling me to do it, I don't want to endorse it. He said, you did the right thing. And then he said, in the Quran, the wife of Lut, the wife of Lot, she was not one of them, she was an LGBTQ, but she was okay with it. She was like, oh, I'm fine, it doesn't matter. Anyone does what they want to do, it's fine, it's okay. And what does it say in the Quran? وَكَانَتْ مِنَ الْخَابِرِينَ. She was one of the transgressors. She was one of the transgressors because she endorsed it. So the Maulana, he told me you did the right thing. We cannot endorse it. So the first thing that we have, if we have values, we shouldn't be afraid to say our values. This is our values. You have your opinions, I have mine. That's the first thing we have to say. Please say another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. People of Kufa, their intentions were good, but they had fear. They were afraid. And one lesson, we should not have fear in our lives. The second thing, now, Muslim ibn Aqeel, he started going into hiding. He hid in the house of Hani ibn Urwa. Ubaydullah orders a man called Aqeel. When I read it, it's a man, his name was Aqeel. Aqeel, he said, find out where Muslim ibn Aqeel is, we're going to kill him. Or we're going to capture him. He sends Aqeel. Aqeel says, give me 3,000 dinars or dirhams, I think it's dinars, and I will find Muslim for you. Then he goes into a Shia neighborhood, he goes into the mosque, and then he says, I'm a lover of Hussein, and then he slowly gets associated with one of the close people of Abu Abdullah and Muslim ibn Aqeel, was Muslim ibn Awsaja. And then he gives him he says, look, I'm a man from Syria, I love Hussein. He starts crying. I love Hussein and I have nothing, but I just want to give these 3,000 dirhams in the way of Allah, in the way of Abu Abdullah. And brothers and sisters, not all money is good. It's not all about money. It's about the ikhlas. Brother Adnan was mentioning it yesterday. It's about ikhlas. This man, did he have any ikhlas? What is that 3,000 going to get you? It's nothing. You have to have ikhlas. This guy was a fake guy. The money cannot be tainted with any impurity. So it's fake. And then he found his way to Muslim ibn Aqeel. Ibn Ziyad, he hears that Hani ibn Urwa, he has him. Hani ibn Urwa gets arrested. He brings him to the palace. Another very interesting thing in this story. These are all lessons we can take. Hani ibn Urwa is a big chief. He has a huge portion of the army of Muslim ibn Aqeel. They take him into the palace. And then the army of Hani, they surround the palace. There's thousands of men, they're surrounding it. They say, we will not leave until you give us Hani ibn Urwa, our chief. What happens next? Another important thing. Ibn Ziyad, he says, go tell them a lie that he's fine. He actually hits him in the face. Hani is injured. He says, tell me what Muslim is. Where did you hide him? He says, I'm not going to give him away. He hits him. His nose is broken. But then he's not giving him away. He says, put him in prison. And then people have surrounded the palace. Thousands of soldiers ready to fight for Hani ibn Urwa. What happens? He sends one alim. Shuraih. This is a judge. This is like a respected man. This is one who gives rulings. You know, he's the one who sits on the top. He gives rulings. He's like one of those judges. He has an amama. He's like an amama, a guy with an amama. You know, he's an alim. He's a scholar. The scholar goes, he says, Wallah, these guys, they're just having a nice chat. They had food and the chats are going long and long. If you wait, man, you'll be here till the all night. You know, might as well go back home. And then he tells them to go back home. But the army disperses. That's it. Another rumor, another lie. What does this tell you? It says don't blindly follow anyone. In this day and age, there's a lot of misinformation. If you look at CNN, they're going to say one thing. If you look at Fox News, they say one other thing. And then, does it mean that the news that you got is right? No, you have to do your own tahqiq. You have to do your own tabayyan. You have to do your own research. That's why there's a lot of alternate medias nowadays. We have a lot of alternate medias. There's a lot of journalists out there. And it's part of Shahadat tabi'in. Whenever you look at like the news that's like in MSNBC or BBC or whatever, you have to find your own sources. These sources, they're only going to tell you what the big think tanks are telling you. So we have to find out our Shia sources, our Muslim sources, our unbiased sources, and then we will actually post and we'll spread this news on our level, inshallah. Please write another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Now these people, they are afraid. They were threatened. They said if you go against the king or go against like the government, you will be beggars in the streets. Then he spreads misinformation. He spreads lies. Everyone is broken. Muslim ibn Aqeel, he leads the last prayer that he did. The last prayer in the mosque of Kufa. In the beginning, there were thousands of people following Muslim ibn Aqeel. And in the riwayat, it says, when he walks out of the mosque, only 30 people remained. Then he walks a bit further, only 10 people remained. Then he keeps walking, and he's alone. And then they betrayed him. He was alone. Now Muslim walks alone in the alleyways of Karbala, of Kufa. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Sallallahu alayka ya ibna Rasulillah. Muslim ibn Aqeel is walking in the alleyways of Kufa. He's tired, he sits on the steps. He sits on the steps in front of a house. A woman comes. She says, do you need anything? He says, Ya Amatallah, ana atshan. She gives him some water. Her name is Taw'a. This old lady, her name is Taw'a. She gives him some water. She thinks maybe he goes away. After a little while she sees Muslim is still there. She comes back and she says, why have you not left my doorstep? He says, Ya Amatallah, I have no family. I have no tribe here. She asks him, who are you? And then he says, أنا مسلم ابن عقيل خذلني أهل الكوفة. I am Muslim ibn Aqeel. The people have betrayed me. I am the ambassador of Aba Abdullah. The woman invites him in. When the son comes back, the son of the woman comes back. He's a soldier of Ibn Ziyad. He immediately finds out it is Muslim and notifies Ibn Ziyad. Ibn Ziyad, he sends 300 soldiers, 300 elite soldiers. The army comes in the morning and they surround the house of Muslim ibn Aqeel. He fights bravely. He fights. In the first fight, he charged at them. He killed 41 of them. Initially, he killed 41 of them in the first go. They're afraid. Muslim ibn Aqeel is fighting ferociously. Ibn Ziyad, he sends reinforcements upon reinforcements. The commander says, I need more reinforcements. Ibn Ziyad says, how can you not kill one man? He says, this is not an ordinary man. This is a lion of Banu Hashim. But they keep on sending more, and then they play a folly, and he falls into a ditch, and they capture him. They arrest him. They take him to the palace of Ibn Ziyad. Ibn Ziyad, he says, give us your bay'ah. He says, I'm not going to give my bay'ah. And then he says, if you have any wasiyah, he says, yes, I have wasiyah. The first wasiyah, he says, I have some money, I need to return. He says, okay, that's done. The second wasiyah, he says, I need to have a kafan. Just give me a proper Islamic burial. He says, what do you care about your dead body? What do you care why we do it? What's your last wasiyah? The last wasiyah, he says, please tell Aba Abdullah, don't come to Kufa. The people of Kufa have betrayed you, O Aba Abdullah. But they take him to the rooftop, Ya Mu'mineen. Before they chop his head, he cries out, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibna Rasulillah. على لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Please with your hand in a short dua. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم ادخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم اغني كل فقير. اللهم اشبع كل جائع. اللهم اكسو كل عريان. اللهم اقضي دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم اصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشفي كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقض عنا الدين واغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.